Hi, Matey here. Today I'm going to be using this image of my avatar to show you how to add some colours to highlights and make it look as though I'm standing in front of a neon sign. So here we go. What I've done here is I've taken two shots originally, one a bit lighter than the other, so I can bring back a few more highlights onto the side facing the light that we're going to be adding as a background. So I'm just going to use a layer mask. I'm just going to paint over that layer mask and bring back some brightness to the face, the shoulders and the hair. And the hair being dark, it's going to take a bit to get some colour to some lights to be added to a dark background. So I just want to brighten that up as much as I can. So I'm going to use the background eraser tool to remove the green background after putting those two layers onto the rain layer using a stamp. Right, so it's Control Shift Alt and E for that stamp to make the one layer. Using the pen tool, I'm just going to draw a path around the edge of the hair, and I'm gonna once I've made the path, I'm going to right click, make a selection, feather it by about 10 pixels, and I'm going to blur just the edge of the hair there, just to blur the hair fronds. I've got this background royalty free from a website called Nice Pick, P-I-K. Crop tool here to put the image to the size that I want. Control J to make a copy of the model, of the avatar, and I'm looking for something that says inner shadow. We need to change this from multiply to color dodge. Then we're going to choose a color that reflects the colors in the neon signs there. So there's a lot of pink there, so I'm going to choose a pink color. And I use this to put some contrast along the edge, so a line of pink along the edge, of the avatar that's facing this the lights. Right, so we do this by using the size and the spacing, the depth and the size. So I'm going to copy this layer, Control J. Then I'm going to readjust it. So I want to get some of the light coming in a bit further onto the face, and I'm just adjust the both layers together to get an effect that I like. So once you've done this outer glow, you can change the fill to 0%, because you don't need to see the avatar on this layer, you just need to see the light effect. So that by putting the fill to 0, you'll still see the light effect, but you won't be covering up the avatar. So I've done that here too. Do some dodging and burning here. So I'm going to start off with the curves adjustment layer and brighten it up, and then on the layer mask I'm going to invert that layer mask by touching the layer mask and Control I to make that black, and then therefore hiding the curves adjustment I've just made. Now with a white brush and a relatively low opacity and flow, probably between 25–30%, just going to paint back the highlights and brighten up the hair. So one way to make sure you just get the highlights where you want them is to just Control and then left click on to the avatar to make a selection. So this brightening of the image will only appear inside that selection now. So I'm going to do some burning as well. So I'm going to make a selection and select inverse. So I'm not going to paint over the avatar, I just want to paint the dark bits. Just showing I can turn off the picture of the avatar, and you can see the light effects that I've placed over the top. Choosing a layer I've set to color dodge, I'm going to paint a bit of a light behind the head there, just so you can see the head in silhouette a bit more. And because it's a dark layer, you're going to have to use a pretty bright and saturated color to get any effect at all. But I just want a subtle effect, so I'm going to sample deep purple there, or pink. color dodge, just placing some layers above the lights and brightening the lights. Now with the way color dodge works, the darker you make the color, the less effect you get. So it's a bit of trial and error. Sometimes you can overdo it. When you're working non-destructively on the same layer, it's easy to just change that layer out and put another one there, or reduce the opacity. So the effect I'm trying to get is the highlights on top of the avatar. I need to match them to the lights. So I'm just adding bits of colour as we go, trying to reflect the colours that are shown in the background. So above my avatar I've done a colour lookup. I think this one was winter. Just going to apply this image. So what happens when you apply the image is that all the highlights stay white and the colours aren't affected, and your mid-tones and darks are gradually painted out. So I'll do another one over the top of everything. Play around with the layer styles, and sometimes you get an effect which looks good. And again, I've applied the image onto the layer mask there. You can see that the highlights on the face and the arms are just slightly coloured. So I've just made a copy of the avatar because I want to make a selection, and this bit is destructive, so I've just copied him just in case I didn't like the effect and I needed to revert back. So I draw a selection, feather the selection about 20 pixels, just so I don't get any like straight sharp edges. And then I use brightness and contrast just to brighten it up a bit, and I'll do this twice, just a little bit at a time. Right, so I do a stamp, Control, Shift, Alt and E. And I do an iris blur. So I want to position this so that the face and shoulders of the avatar, of my avatar, because it is my avatar, are in focus. And then it blurs off towards the edges. Just gives a nice effect. Alright, so it's 4 dots in the middle. Anything that's within those 4 dots is crisp and in focus, and then it kind of fades away until you get to the edge. Go to Camera Raw filter, which is the same as Lightroom, and And I generally finish my edits in here. Now I'm going to add a bit more colour to the highlights by using the tints and the blues and the magentas. I'm going to add some clarity, play around with the shadows a little bit and the light, and the split toning, and in the end I will add a bit of noise. So it's all done to a matter of taste, to your own. I generally just mess around in here until I get something that I like. Thanks for watching, and if you like these videos, please like, subscribe and comment. If there's something you want me to do and show you how it's done, please let me know.